Hello and welcome to the Nova Show Real Estate Records. I'm Karla Rivera, your host for today, and I have got some special guests with me. Matt Wells and Brittany Hakes are joining me. Matt has actually created a super strong presence in our industry just through his leadership and forward-thinking vision. Brittany is his life partner and also handles all things in the back end of the office, agent training, marketing, and helps to bring structure to the business. So together they're a dynamic duo, keeping structure and creativity. And I'm super excited to hear from them. Let's go ahead and get started. You guys can share about your journey, the lessons that you've learned, challenges. It's going to be a great time. And I'd like to start with Matt. So Matt, tell me what even got you interested in real estate and what pushed you to go further with that as a broker owner for a company?
Yeah, so I was crazy, first of all. It's funny because I got into real estate in 2010, and when everybody was, if you lived through 2010, 2008, 2009, 2006, all those, right? You know that the industry was crap, like absolute crap, right? I was a superintendent for a custom home builder. Before that, I was building tract homes, running framing crews, building homes all over the state, thousands of tract homes, multifamilies, commercial buildings. I've kind of done it all.
Oh, wow. So yeah, still part of the real estate world at that time.
And when in 2008, when that company I was with went belly up, I was like, hey, why not get into real estate? Because that seemed like a good idea. And so I did. And I just remember, like, I got licensed and I was, green as could be. And I got the super key back when it was like the little fob you carried around, and started opening houses. And in 2010, like, there was houses to, like, pee on the walls.
Oh, what?
No cabinets. And because everybody was short selling and trying to take anything of value out of these houses. And it was like the funnest time to get into real estate. So,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that does not sound fun, but I'm glad you saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
yeah.
Okay, and then tell me a little bit more about what inspired you to take that big jump from, doing your business and then leveling it up to a broker owner.
Yeah. So, when I first got into real estate, I was with the brokerage that at the time they seemed to be like industry leader on like online leads and things. However, I found out like very quick, like, you paid for that, right? Like, you, as the agent, you really paid for it. Had success there though, and from there went to another company, just thinking, oh, I'll have better splits here. And it was just not my cup of tea. It was like Wall Street, like everybody standing and making phone calls. And I'm like, that's not me either, Still had a little bit of success there, and ended up going to another company where I could just kind of hide in my basement. Became a top producer there. Went into the office. I think the first time
He just casually drops that on us. Yeah. I just became a top producer there.
Well, no, it definitely took work, right? Like, it definitely took work. It took 3 or 4 years to kind of get up into the area where I would consider myself a top producer, and where the company was, taking me out to lunch and dinner and stuff because I was producing.
Nice.
But I kind of just wanted to disappear into my basement, and I went into the office to meet the broker once, and then I went in there because I was in the area to make copies once. And that was the only time I ever went into the brokerage. From there, the owners of that went and created a different one, and they came to me after, they had, I think at the time they had 7 or 8 branch brokers, and they came to me and they're like, we want you to be a broker. Like, these guys all asked us to be a broker, but like, we want you to be a broker because we see how you are with the other agents.
Oh, I love that.
And so I did that.
You were appointed then.
Yeah, I was like the only broker that was more or less appointed. And I quickly, I had like 14 agents within the first month or so. And
Wow.
that was already more than any of the other branches had. At least I remember. Maybe not. Those of you watching or listening to this, like,
They're like, let me fact check.
I'm still friends with so many of them.
Fact check him.
Yeah, they'll fact check me for sure. But at that point, I kind of took on a business partner that was also another branch broker, and him and I quickly grew our branch to half of the company. Once we did that, we kind of saw a way that like, hey, we can do this, and we went out on our own.
I love that. Well, and you're still inspiring a lot of agents. So I have the opportunity to work with quite a few of your agents, and they have nothing but great things to say. So
Good.
yeah, that speaks volumes.
They're following the script then.
You're like, we threaten them over here. No,
Nice.
I'm just kidding. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. And then this one's going to be fun. Brittany, before you stepped into the real estate world, what were you doing and how did you end up in this path?
Oh boy. Okay, so I had nothing to do with real estate ever. I had a best friend who was a real estate agent. That's about all I knew about real estate.
We all have a friend.
Yeah, everyone has a friend here. And actually, my friend that I have my own podcast with. So
Yeah.
this
okay.
is a fun adventure for me. I'm usually not on this side of it. I'm usually asking the questions. But she was a real estate agent, and really, I had nothing to do with real estate. I kind of did the same thing for a construction company I worked for, kind of office manager, did their social media, their volunteer program and everything, when I had met Matt and started dating him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but my boss was honestly a giant jerk.
Yeah,
This
I remember
guy-
you telling me that.
He just was not somebody kind to work for at all. And so I would always kind of come home, and complain to this one about, man, just this sucks. I hate that my boss is just such a jerk. We're gonna be PG here. And Matt at this point in the brokerage was doing things on his own. And he's like, just come work for me. And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
And let's just kind of recap on that. You are a huge part of what keeps the company flowing, I'm sure, because the back end of things is sometimes the hardest. So
it's very sweet
Yeah.
of you. I think
you bring the structure.
He brings a lot of structure. I bring like the spicy Italian fun.
Yeah.
I feel
I love
like
that.
I throw the parties and do the social media. I make the social media less boring. That's what I do.
I love your social media. You're probably sick of me loving all your posts. I'm like, yes.
You're sweet. No, but so he said, why don't you come work for me and just let's try this out. I'm like, do we mix business and pleasure? Because at this point, our relationship was so good and we had such a great thing, and I've never worked with someone I was also dating. And I was like, what if we get sick of each other? Like, I don't want to get sick of you because our things were so good. And he's like, well, let's just test it out. You hate your job. Like, I'll just, pay you straight across the board. Like, no favors here, dating each other. And let's just see how it goes. I need the help, he said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But I'm like, I also don't know anything about real estate. Right. And so it was really intimidating to come into this. But I've learned so much since working over the last year with Matt. And I think eventually one day I would love to maybe get licensed and like try my hand at it. I feel like everyone that knows us is like, why is she not a real estate agent? So, everyone's always told me I should be in sales. But 120 hours of schooling, you guys, good for you. Like, I also have 5 kids and juggling mom life and everything else that just right now it's not my time, but I think I'll eventually maybe get there. But I love doing what I do for Matt, and it's been a really great adventure so far. And I love our agents.
I love that. Well, and that was actually going to be, you brought us right into my next question, which is looking back early on when you did start this partnership, what were some of the challenges that you guys had to face?
I mean, I don't know, not to speak for you, but for me, I don't think working together there was ever a challenge.
Yeah.
Like Matt and he is my best friend. And he's the first person I've ever been with that has felt like my actual best friend. And so it's fun being together every day. I think the challenges for me, the challenges for
that. You're giving hope to the world here.
dating apps have hope. No, I think the challenges were, for me was I was just more intimidated by the industry, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know anything.
And it is an intimidating industry. It's competitive. There's a lot of ego. And yeah.
Well, I think for me, like I had to real estate to train her.
Okay.
Right? Because it's like I've now done this for so long that when I talk to somebody, like everybody I talk to is in real estate.
Yeah, and you
right?
expect them to know the terminology and things.
170
I get that.
agents and 5 offices, and so like every single text, every single call is real estate related.
Yeah.
7 days a week, like 20 hours a day, right?
I've
So it's like,
seen lately some behind the scenes of your life.
yeah, it's like every once in a while you'll see me mowing my lawn, but like I stop
On the phone.
I stop and text and things
Yeah,
like that.
of course.
Right? So I had to real estate because I had to like remember that, oh yeah, she doesn't know some of these terms. And if you know me, like I don't like real estate agents, right? Like I don't like that used car salesman pitch about them, which is kind of what's also made our brand what it is. But I had to kind of step back and be like, oh yeah, she doesn't know these things. She doesn't know these terms. She doesn't even know the process. Like she's bought houses before, but that doesn't mean
so
it's like,
yeah.
it's like what we teach our agents, right? Like you can put all this stuff on social media about real estate, but nobody actually cares except for maybe that 2 weeks where they're like, crap, we need to buy a house, or crap, we need to sell a house.
Then they call.
And they care about it. Once they've sold that house or bought that house, they no longer care.
Yeah.
Right? There are people that do, but the majority of people do not care. And so it's like I had to step out and step back and be like, okay, I got to teach her kind of that process from like.
Yeah, I love that you
ground
took
zero.
the time to do that.
Yeah. So I think that was probably my hardest part, is just like even retraining myself.
Yeah. Okay.
How do I retrain myself? Because like she also didn't know.
So we
the
learned to talk
programs or
to just
anything.
the people that are not in real estate. That's great.
Yeah, because especially with me being, the broker, I do sales and stuff still, but it's so few and far between where I'm actually out there. I don't do cold calling. I don't do prospecting, right? Like I'll get a phone call and say, hey, I need you to sell my house. It's not me interviewing or anything like that. It's like, if I get a phone call, I'm selling the house.
Yeah.
Right. And so.
Well, and you're dealing more with your agents as well, right? Helping answer questions,
and so
negotiating,
really
things like that.
So really having to like, I don't want to say dumb it down, but like dumb it down to where it's like, I need to teach you what
break
all
it
this
down.
stuff
We'll
is.
switch that.
I need
break
to like,
it down.
I need to teach you how to like even our systems.
Day-to-day speak.
Yeah.
I will say this though, so one of the biggest things for me was the social media when I came in.
Okay.
Matt's like, listen, my social media sucks. Like as a brokerage, right? Our thing, because the real estate agents, they get to do the fun things. You're selling yourself as like, this is me as an agent for you. But for a brokerage, his big thing was like, I have to show what we produce.
Yeah.
And so Matt his mind is very brilliant.
And you've done great. I mean, I've seen your agent highlights and your involvement. Like a lot of your posts ask for involvement, and that's fun.
But when I came in, the social media was really lacking. Like, no offense, I love you, but it was lacking. But he's like, as a brokerage, you can't. Like, I have to show what we sell, what we list, but other than that, how do you make that exciting? Because the agents are kind of doing that themselves. And like you were saying, really, there's so many real estate agents here that honestly, even did this, it's like your stuff gets boring. No offense, guys, but it's the same exact thing that every single agent is doing on there. And so you can't just come and like copy and paste everything. And so that was probably one of my biggest challenges of the job, was coming in and he's like, I need you to help me like bring my social media to life.
Well, you make it look easy, and when I see your stuff, it looks like you're having fun with it.
I love it.
That's great.
But I also told Matt, I'm like, you're going to have to make reels.
It's I hate making reels.
Well, we're glad you got him too, Brittany.
I know. When
The
she's
only
like, I have
person
an
that
idea,
could.
when she tells me I have an idea, I'm like, oh great, here we go. Like I actually have stuff to do right now.
No, I need you for 5 minutes. You're fine.
I love it.
Social media has always been a hard thing because as a brokerage, I think I have a very different mindset where when an agent says, oh, do I have to have my logo this color and this size? I'm just like, no,
I don't care. Yeah.
Legally you have to have the name, but like it doesn't have to have a specific color or size. Like you have to go by what the law says, because at the end of the day, this is your business. I'm not going to give you at brokerage email. I'm not going to give you all that stuff. Like this is your business. You are an independent contractor. You need to create a business where if you get sick of me tomorrow, you can walk away from the brokerage and still business keeps going.
Wow.
You know, and I think
that's
a
very
lot of,
liberating, I'm
Yeah.
sure, for your agents.
I
That's why they
literally-
stick around.
yeah, I literally tell, this is going to get not PG, but I literally tell agents like, we are here to support you in growing your business, building your brand. But when it comes to our social media, we're going to try to help you, help you.
Yeah,
as an
and that is
agent.
supportive.
Yeah.
I mean, even the, you know, like the reposting or highlighting, and I know you've taken time to bring your agents to surface. I've seen that. So that is support.
Yeah, when I first came in, he's like, listen, I have 160 agents. We've grown even since then a year ago.
Congrats.
And I
That's
was
awesome.
like, very intimidating. Like, how do I learn 160 agents? Like, even just seeing their list of names and the computer, all the things, it overwhelmed me. And now I'm like besties with most of them. I mean,
yes.
honestly, I have good relationships with all of our agents. Matt has some of the most incredible agents out there and such amazing, kind people. I've had personal relationships with now, and now they feel like
love
my
that.
family. And so I always laugh thinking back to a year ago when I would look at this list and be like, how am I going to remember all these people? And now I just know everyone.
Yeah.
And so that's been a fun journey.
Well,
but
that's great for your morale too.
One, it was fun too, because as soon as she came on, I was like, okay, I have like a couple more hours during the day. Like, what was it within like
Oh, yes,
probably
of
a month or
course.
so of you coming on? I'm like, okay, we're opening up another office.
yeah.
Oh, and by the way, we're going to franchise. Like, I'm going to write an entire like franchise
Wow.
agreement so that we can like grow anywhere
Yeah.
now. Right. And then by the end of the year, we had, because you came on about a year ago. It was October of last year.
Oh, yes. Congrats,
So-
Annie.
But within a month or so after that, I drove up to Wyoming and signed a franchise agreement with one of our brokers.
That's
And,
amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Congrats,
So
guys.
now we can grow anywhere we want. So
That's incredible. So you really did take the role. You were able to leverage that and now have all this time.
Because I think like one of my biggest things is not just social media, but just agent advocate. Like the agents can come to me for so many other different things, but I do love helping them with the social media aspect of it. And I've, do the CE classes.
Yeah,
every
I was
month.
going to
And
say, you really do handle all of the agent training and everything.
yeah,
as well.
all the agent trainings now. I do our volunteer program where it's like Matt before not only had, I mean, his role as a broker is crazy to me. Like dating him.
Well, and you've always been a forward visionary, but it's nice now you can have it actually in action.
it's the weirdest thing to have done this now for so long. And I have one of those mindsets, like startup mindset, where it's like, I'm not going to go get the big fancy office and fill it full of bodies and like hope we
Hope for the best.
I'm going to be bursting at the seams before I hire the next person. And that's kind of like when I brought her on, it was like, I am bursting at the seams.
So
right?
it really was divine timing.
It really was. And now I look back at it, I'm like, it's almost weird because it's like, I have to ask her like, hey, what's going on this week? Because for so long, I knew everything that was going on. I knew everything that was on the calendar.
Well, and what a great
calendar.
trust you have to be able to do that. It
Yeah,
takes a
it's-
lot to like surrender to
It's
someone
been absolutely
and
amazing.
trust.
It's been
Good.
amazing. Freed up my time to keep doing better stuff and
to make more reels.
Yes. Well, and I know you guys have been able also to enjoy your personal life more, at least from what I've seen. So that's
He's
beautiful.
so busy all the time, even with just the actual logistics of like,
right.
you're
Your
running
role,
a brokerage and all
of
the
course.
agents and everything and answering questions. But for me, I just love that I can kind of take that off of his plate too. Because when I saw him when we first started dating, I'm like, how do you do all of this yourself? And Matt's pretty incredible.
You're like,
dude.
no wonder you need me.
No,
Yeah.
he's like, this man
Yeah.
is efficient. Let me just tell you something, efficient in personal life and business life. But I think taking all of this off his plate, where I remember the day where he said to me, he's like, it is so nice to walk in here to a CE and like all the food's here. Cause sometimes if we don't have companies bring the lunch, like I run over to the store, I grab we will always have a spread at our office. We will always have a spread. But he's like, I remember the day where he said,
But the little details matter for sure.
where he's like,
Yeah.
I love that I can walk in and you just have it all set up. And he's like, I don't even
It's
know.
a big
what to
weight
do
off
myself.
his shoulders, I'm sure. So with that, what do you think has been the most rewarding part of leading a lot of agents? And both of you can answer this. Yeah, we'll start with Matt.
I never expected to be where we are today.
Okay.
When we started.
So you've surpassed kind of what you
Oh.
envisioned. That's
Yeah,
great.
I mean, it's hard because you always you never start a company thinking you're going to stay small
course.
necessarily, right? But when I first started, I had a business partner. Since then, I've bought him out a couple years ago, and kind of went at it on my own. And I've always wanted to have that like small boutique brokerage feel. But how do you do that and grow? And
Right.
unless you're charging your agents a certain amount, how do you actually do that? And so for me, it was like, how do I do that? I need to be able to create this thing, but also have agents, but also I don't want to go out and like, I don't want to go sit at the real estate school and with like a booth and be like, come work for us.
Yeah.
This is everything we can do for you, right?
Sounds like you wanted more of an organic
Yeah, I wanted to build this thing
pool
organically.
for
And
people to join. Yeah.
I wanted our people to bring people and vet them for me, because if our people vet them, by the time they sit on my couch to interview, it's like, we already know you're solid, you know? So it's like, how do we do that?
Well, similar to your clients, right? It's like once you've done an outstanding job with them, they start talking about you.
Yeah. And that's one of the ways we've collected so many, you know, amazing agents. And I think getting to know them on more personal level, you know, we have 170, like I said, 5 offices now. And I mean, people, we have agents in Oregon, we have agents in Hawaii, we have agents in Idaho. We have agents kind of all over the place, and you get to know.
This is good to know for even our other agents in the industry, right? Because
we
you
have
can
agents,
help them out if they're
we
out
have
in the
agents kind of
States.
all over. But it's really fun to get to know them on a personal level and know their families, because even though we've grown to this size where it's like, I can't really say that we're a small brokerage anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're considered like medium large, you know, like there's the big box brokerages, the
But you're still,
corporations
it's
and
sounding
stuff,
like
know?
you're still very tight and united with the people you do
and
have.
that's been part of it, is like, how do we grow, but like keep this small feel, keep this like mom and pop shop boutique brokerage feel, but do this whole thing organically. And I think so far, I think we've done really well. And I think even bringing Britt on, right? It was nice to have a female presence there. I mean, I can decorate and things, and I've
But
cooked,
no,
and I've
even
cooked
with
food, but,
mentality,
like,
right? Like there is beauty and masculinity and femininity just flowing together.
Oh yeah. It's like I can handle an agent when they're, you know, they call me up and they've had a bad transaction or something and they're in tears. I can handle that, but like, I'm not a female.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things that
It's a
like
different
Britt
way.
has been able to really like hone in on with some of our agents and stuff. And so many of those relationships have been built because, you know, there is a female presence at the office now. And that's something that
Well,
I could have
and not
never done
any
on my
female presence. You are very nurturing and welcoming. I remember the first time I met Brittany and we were at a nonprofit event and I was just like, who is this woman? She's so sweet.
Well, it was intimidating coming into to a very like female dominant industry as well, because it's like people didn't know I wasn't an agent. I remember it being like, is anyone going to think maybe you're like dating someone in the industry, you know? And Matt's very, very like, he has his strict rules on those types of things. And but once people, I think, understood like, oh, because it's scary bringing someone you're dating to work
But I
for
think
you.
people saw the results, and if anything, that would create more respect as a leader. I would imagine, like, like you were able to see the need for someone to step in, and you chose the right person, which is great.
Once people started to meet me and get to know me and kind of understand my personality and my intentions, right? Of like, I want to come in and just because, like he's saying, he can handle transactions and things all day long, but we have a lot of female agents. It's more dominant female. And you have people going through, life is life. Everyone's going through something, whether it's marital issues or something with their children or something, right? Where I can kind of step into that role and cry with our agent, hold them while
Funny
they're
you say that. When
going
Matt
through
was
something.
explaining, I'm like, I bet Brittany cries with them. Like that's the first thing that came to mind. But no,
He's like, Brittany's
it is
over
about
here.
keeping it personal and actually understanding your
all I can do
people.
is like offer a shot of whiskey and be like,
Oh
this
my
will help.
gosh, yes.
This is all I got.
I mean, that is
Sorry.
helpful too sometimes. So it's the great thing of combining.
I think Matt's favorite part of hiring me was when I brought snacks to the office.
Oh my gosh.
I brought
love
snacks
it.
into the office and like redid the kitchen with
Because
snacks.
now people aren't hangry, so you got that covered.
Yeah.
We had like, I mean, it's like the bachelor pad fridge, right? Like we had.
Oh my gosh.
we
I mean,
had-
I've seen that fridge.
Yeah, like we have a kitchen. You know, we have like almost a full bar stocked. It seems like, all like, because agents just bring gifts and stuff. But like we had the fridge that had like the leftovers in it and like the condiments.
Oh
have been
my
in there
gosh.
since we opened
There's
our doors.
mustard in there.
Condiments from like, I don't even know, you guys.
Yeah, like it was like the bachelor's fridge,
That
like
is
once
funny.
a month, maybe go in there and like find whatever was causing the smell, get rid
Oh
of it,
my
and then
gosh,
like call it
ew.
good, right? And no, she has like you come in now and it's like
Very
we
welcoming.
we have decor
Yes.
rather than just a very well known home warranty rep in a singlet picture on our wall.
No, it is very welcoming.
It's
for
a lot
sure.
more welcoming. We always had compliments on like kind of the flow of the place and how it wasn't real estatey and didn't seem like a traditional real estate office. Like we always had compliments on that, but there was still something missing, and it really was some of those touches that she put. I
Yeah.
mean, there's literally like a basket full of like assorted chips and stuff that are always being rotated, and there's like these glass jars of like, and they're all healthy snacks, right?
Yeah.
Like, we do have like some chocolate and stuff over by like the
Oh, thank
and
God.
we have like
This avoids a lot
we have
of
like
drama.
an actual like we've
Keeping
always had
chocolate on hand.
yeah, like we've always had like a coffee bar, but it's like a much better coffee bar. Now there's like hidden chocolate and stuff, but like it's all like healthy snacks and things like that too. So
There's
Yeah.
a new sheriff in town.
I love that. Well, and that kind of brings it, like, I'm sure there's so many things in the back end that you are doing that people don't even know. So what would you say is one challenge that you navigate each week, or, you know, not even a challenge, but just something you're doing that maybe most people don't know about, even in your company? Brittany, that one's for you.
I think it's hard sometimes to see. I think, like I said, I think people just think I'm kind of social media, right? But even behind a social media post,
Yeah,
I'm
there's a
planning
lot
out
to it.
weeks in advance on Hootsuite of like our scheduler and making the post and plugging everything in, and then just new ideas to kind of keep it fresh. Like, what are some interesting, funny things? Or like, we send out community builder awards every month, right? So any of our agents that help 2 or more families in that month sell or buy a home, they get a community builder award. And something I love about Matt is he takes care of his agents. They get a personalized birthday gift every single month. They get these awards just as like a, hey, we see you.
Yeah.
And so I
Just
put
to keep
all of
the
these things
recognition. I love
together, like creating the awards, getting all of the things to send out, sending them out, doing all of the posts, everything that goes into it. I think people don't realize sometimes even the simplest looking thing, like there's so much
There's a
that
lot to
goes
it.
in behind it. And just figuring out our next events and then hosting. Something I love that I brought is like more agent focused events, right? Not just C classes, but the fun stuff.
Yeah.
So like this month, actually in a couple of days, we have like a Halloween date night bingo.
Oh, fun.
And we're gonna do like this Halloween charcuterie and a dirty soda bar. And I put like
Well, and that
little-
helps your agents be more united as well and work together
Yeah.
a lot better, I'm sure.
and just little touches in all of the gifts, right, for these prizes. And like our volunteer events is actually one of my favorite things that I do. And so I don't know. I think to answer that, it's like people just don't know.
Sure.
It looks so simple.
It's
but
sounding like maybe too many things you're doing. Not too many, but there's
I love
lots
it.
of things that
she
people
always tells
don't
me
know.
that like
Yeah.
she feels like she's not doing enough.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And I'm like, you have no idea, because I was trying to do all these things, but so many of them you have to kind of put on the back burner. You have to put like the events, you know,
Yeah,
the
because
date
you're
night
like, what do we
events
focus
and
on?
the-
Production
and
or
the
connection
humanitarian
or
stuff. Like you have to put that stuff off because you're like, okay, we can't do it as often.
Sure.
You know, I only have so much bandwidth, and so
But they are both important.
yeah,
So it's
and
nice
they're just
to be
as
able
important.
to.
So it's like now bringing her on and having her kind of bring it all to life, and knowing that like when we tell an agent we're going to have these events and we're actually going to have them, it's a fun thing. It's hard since COVID. It is hard to get agents into the office,
yeah.
right? Like I always make the joke, like I don't know what agents do from 9 to 5 because it's not real estate.
Because they're not here.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
they're not here.
Hey,
nowhere
they're
to be
out
found,
showing
you
homes and
know?
negotiating. That's
Yeah,
what I tell
mean,
myself.
all of my clients all of my agents just happen to have the clients that don't work during the day. You know, so
Yeah.
they're out showing
Hey,
homes, I'm sure, not at the golf course.
One of my favorite things when you were talking about like me not knowing the real estate and Matt kind of having to dumb it down. One of my favorite reels I ever made is what last year Matt came down with whatever virus was going around. I've never seen him so sick. He said he's never been that sick. He was laid out for like 2 weeks almost. And so I was in the office, and one of the best reels I've ever made was this funny thing. You'd have to go look it up on our socials.
Well, no, I will. Yeah.
But it's like the one where I'm sitting there and it's literally talking about like when agents call and you're like, I have no idea. Who's this? So it's like, it was my best reel because it's people don't understand how true that really was.
Yeah.
Like he was like on his deathbed and I'd be like, babe, I'm sorry, so-and-so is asking this and I don't know how to answer. And I think that's the one thing I hate is I'm like, I need to really get more knowledgeable on like the logistics of real estate now because in case Matt ever is on his deathbed.
But maybe that
again.
can come next, right? And I know you said you do have interest in potentially getting your license. So
yeah, I mean,
sounds like a lot is coming.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, teaching you what you can do and can't do and the legalities of all that. And so it's like sometimes she'll ask me a question and be like, you can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm like dying right now, but like patch them in because
man.
So it's just like with title, right? Like there's so many just different restrictions and stuff. And so
some of which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But we're just like,
doesn't make sense.
Whoever decided that made that a rule.
It doesn't make sense until you've
it.
seen why it makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's true.
Because there's been definitely some things in the past, like I've questions and then like I've seen why, and I'm like, or you'll read it in like the division newsletter. And
Yeah.
Like,
So that silly rule is why.
Yeah, that's why.
Well,
that
or
silly
sometimes, you know what I've noticed too? It is when something happens, then they're like, oh, we better come up with a rule for that.
Yeah,
Somebody's out there ruining
the McDonald's cup being hot rule.
Oh, gosh.
Something I love about the brokerage too that I think makes Matt stand out from other businesses is we have so many agents that come and find him by just saying like, I saw your website and you guys just feel it's such a different vibe, such a different feel with us. And people have always said that you feel like such a at home, just cozy, that mom and pop that he wanted to create. He's done it. He's done it. Our brokerage is so unique. And I will just say that because not only because I like you, but just because actually as like an outsider coming in and now learning more of the industry and seeing the differences in other places, like it really is, it has such a unique feel. And I love what he's created. I just help bring it to life. But he really is the mastermind behind all of these things. I remember coming in and being
but you were a piece that also made a big difference. So that's beautiful that you guys are creating this life.
Aw.
And on that, so normally I ask people, how do you balance home life versus work life? But you guys have actually just meshed it all together and it's working beautifully. I've seen
on really big toes.
Yeah, but tell me about your routines, right? Like in and out of the office. Do you guys also meet once a week or like, I mean, that's dramatic, right? But how are you handling all the things? I know you guys have kids, you travel, right? There's so much more to you.
Yeah, I mean, we have about 6 fire trucks.
On
everything's
standby.
always ablaze.
Yes.
It's definitely an interesting dynamic. Sometimes I have to like tell Britt, well, almost every day I have to tell Britt, like, okay, you can stop working now. And she'll be like, oh, I just want to get ahead. And I'm like, but it's okay. You can stop. Like,
he's like, but we need to have dinner now.
Even though I do a lot of cooking.
He does.
No, I mean, it's definitely a different dynamic. And I don't think we didn't have some sort of agreement going into it. It was just kind of like, okay, well, let's see
how it goes,
how this works, right?
Evolves,
you teach and things like that, and then when she starts picking up on everything I've taught her, and starts creating her own ways of doing things, then her her own ideas and stuff that she's implementing, it kind of just started to flow. And I'm not even joking. I have to like beg her to stop working sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
like, you're in the right industry for sure, girlfriend.
I'll just
because it doesn't.
I'll just say this, okay? I am exhausted, tired today. And it's because neither of us could sleep last
night.
night.
You're doing great. You don't look exhausted.
Well, so me,
you both look great.
I'm like laying there trying to sleep, and I look over at Britt. I don't even remember 2-3 o'clock this morning, and she's on Instagram like updating the bubbles and stuff on the page.
Oh my gosh,
she's
Brittany.
working at whatever time
and no bags. What, girl? After the podcast, let's talk about skincare.
It's just been one of those things where it has just kind of really worked. But I think the reason it works is because, and we always say this, like, we work well as a team.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to parenting, life, business, everything. You know, if I cook, she's like immediately jumping in and not only like helping the cook, but like cleaning up. And I'm doing the same when she's doing that. But it's like, we'll have a meal or something at home, no matter who cooks anything. It's like, by the time like we have a very like, I would almost say it's a regiment at this point. Cause like we do not go to bed with our house messy, dishes in the sink, anything ever.
We are both a very like OCD clean people.
Well, if you're going to be OCD, that's the thing.
But that's just it. Is like,
yeah,
we've never had to have like this talk to one another. Like, okay, well, I need you to step up doing this.
I love that.
Right.
You
like,
just had
we
this,
have always just
rare sense to do it.
Yeah. We've always just like jumped in where the other one needs help, and we don't have to ask. We just kind of know. And so it's been the same thing with business. Like, as soon as I kind of showed her the ropes of what I needed help with, it was like, okay, she kind of ran with it. And then she would just pick up where she could see I needed a little bit more. And it's the same thing. Like there's months where she's gotten mad at me because I know she's overwhelmed with stuff, and I'll like hop in and I'll do like a social media post or something. And she'll be like, why'd you do that? And I was like, I was just trying to help.
Why did you touch my stuff?
You're like, this is my baby.
So it's kind of worked out that way. And it's, you know, I'd like to say it's because we're just such organized people, and we planned it this way, and we have a regiment and a schedule and a calendar. And, you know, honestly,
well, I like that it's not been that. It's just an organic flow, and it seems like your communication styles are probably very similar, and that's why
we
it's
have
working.
very similar brains.
Yeah.
Very similar brains when it comes to this stuff. Don't worry. We still have our problems. Every relation. We're not like sitting here perfect. But in that department, we work so well together. And so meshing it.
I love that.
Our brains work so similar that when we do have like disagreements or something, it's like looking in the mirror and disagreeing with ourselves.
Yeah. Or you
like
can probably navigate through it easily because you're like, oh, I see why you're
it depends
doing
on the
this
thing,
or
right?
that.
Like otherwise we're just like both hard-headed the same.
Yeah, we're both alphas too. That can go bad.
No, it's great. I've seen what you guys have created even just in the past year. So yeah, it's beautiful.
I was going to say too, like balancing. So Matt and I blended 7 kids together. 7.
Yes.
7. That's a lot of children.
Hey, that's a good number though. It's a lucky number.
It's a
7.
little army.
It is an army. And so with that, like, but we also do 50-50 of our kids. So we get like weeks where we don't even have kids, and then weeks where it's like pandemonium. And so juggling the work life on top of the pandemonium weeks gets a little tricky. Excuse me. Sorry. But like the weeks we don't have our kids, we are like even more productive. Yeah. And so we kind of like in those weeks make up for the weeks that we know we're going to have kids. Maybe it's fall break and we can't go to the office. Sometimes we've had our kids at the office and we're like, hey, you play the Xbox, you play Paw Patrol toys, you color, and like we're over here just trying to get something done, you know, for the thing, but it works.
Well,
like,
and that's like now it's just becoming a family thing, which is one of my questions. What kind of real estate legacy do you guys want to leave behind? Or just legacy in general, because you're doing it in your family, with your work life. So yeah, speak to that a little bit.
That's a hard question because I don't know. Like I always tell my son, like, you're going to take over this business. So I actually own.
Yeah. How old is your oldest?
So my oldest is 14.
Okay. Cute.
Her oldest is 18. Then she's got a 16-year-old. Then my 14-year-old. And then we both have 12-year-olds. And then an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old.
90% teens are running this household. Yeah. Oh boy.
And you know, like
bless.
My daughter, she's really good with graphic design and stuff like that. I know that she loves to do that sort of stuff. I hope at some point that we can get all of our kids involved somehow.
I like that.
I don't necessarily want them to follow my footsteps. I want them to have them do what they want to do. My dad is not in real estate. I think he told me once that he got licensed as a college class back in like the early 80s and likes to talk like he knows a lot about real estate, which he does, right? But obviously not as much as I do with the experience.
Well, and it's always changing. I mean, even now, right, we're facing a market that is very different than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. So I want to support my kids in whatever they want to do. You know, if
they
grow up and they want to get
It
into
sounds like that's
awesome, but
that's you in general, because I see that with your agents too. You're
Yeah.
just supporting them and letting them fly their own ship, but if they need you, then you're stepping in and
Yeah.
taking on the ropes. So
Yeah, and
that's wonderful.
I own
That's a
another-
great leadership.
Yeah, and I own another business that when my kids turned 16, like my son, it's a sign install company. So
Oh, okay.
you know, when he's
well,
looking,
well.
Yeah, so
way to cover all the corners.
he's like
Yeah.
really looking forward to like when I just give him the keys to the truck and the hammer and be like, hey, go hang some signs and some lock boxes for
That's
agents.
fun.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think I already told him like, dude, when you turn 16, like this company is yours. Like
my
I've already
gosh.
built it up. I've got hundreds of clientele and stay pretty busy with that too. So it's
That's
like when you're
exciting.
16, you can have this, and if you can build something more out of it, awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. But like that's one thing.
But there's always going to be a need for that. How awesome.
there will.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think
great.
both of us just want to support our kids and whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah, I really just teach my kids, like, just don't be an a-hole in this
Yeah.
life. Like, I don't care what you do.
Right?
Like, just,
You would think that's like a basic, but
Yeah,
a lot of us forget that.
just be kind. Just be
Yeah.
kind. Yeah. I think, I for me with my kids, I mean, one of my daughters wants to do hair. She's like already has like her
cool.
5-year plan of being an
Wow.
apprentice, going to hair school.
You guys
and
are
stuff. So
building more alphas.
I'm
Love
more
this.
excited about that because the older you get, I got to cover my grades. Like,
Girl,
faster and
don't even
faster.
talk to
Yeah.
me about Grace.
Well-
I got Grace when I was 21, so I'll be calling her too. I'll be like, come send
I
her
don't care if you don't
over.
go into real estate. Just get mom's hair done. Like, you're fine.
That's awesome. Well, okay, so how do you guys see your roles evolving, through real estate, and maybe what do each of you want to focus on for this coming year?
Go ahead.
Okay, I think for me personally, I would love to put my hours in eventually and even just try my hand at some TC work on the side, just so that our brokerage has its own, transaction
Yeah.
coordinator.
I love that.
But also,
My gosh, look at her wanting to take on more responsibility.
I mean,
you
we
weren't
have,
lying.
That's the thing is like we have transaction coordinators, but like it's always nice to have like a designated
Yes.
one who also isn't out necessarily
Absolutely.
selling. Somebody who is more like
Right, like she is your
office
go-to
focused and-
for this space.
Yeah, and so we've kind of talked to her about. Talked to her about, and we have talked about maybe going that route, trying it out, see if she likes it, and yeah.
I think more,
Love it.
this thing's swinging around. I think more agents. I want to start highlighting our agents. So I want to start doing some really fun things with Canva and making more reels of like our agents' lives kind of behind the scenes.
Kind of what you've been tricking Matt into doing.
Yes. Okay. We have to talk about this. We have to talk about this. Anyone out there that
I love
likes
it.
mom talk, secret lives, and Mormon wives, right? Everyone, since I kind of took over social media, which Matt was not big on showing his face before anyway.
I haven't been on social media for a year this month,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
and it's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yeah, he actually like completely just
That
got
is
off of
awesome.
Facebook altogether because he's like, I felt like it was such a time suck and all the things. But since me taking over, I was really nervous because I'm like, I don't want people to come in or see me come in and think I'm just kind of taking over the show here, because it's not like, you're still the broker. Like, you are the main event at, the agents, but you know what I mean, behind in the office. And he's like, no, please, I don't want to show my face. But then over time, it's like the agents are like, where did Matt go? Because like he's not even on like personal social media anymore. And I'm like, I got you guys.
You're like,
So I
let me
started
capture him.
I just started clipping him
Oh,
like
that's
in
awesome.
live.
I have loved seeing your stories.
And I started doing like the secret lives of your broker.
Yes.
And I put the music of like mom talk to it. And I just start clipping him and like posting things that he does when he doesn't know. And our
I
agents
just
love
realized
it.
that you put that music.
Yes,
Oh my
it's
gosh,
like dun,
that's
dun,
hilarious.
Dun, dun. It's like another Sunday edition of Secret Lives of Your Broker. And then I clip him and he has no idea. And the agents have been loving it. And they're like, keep this going.
Yes.
So I feel bad.
They're
because
like,
sometimes-
wait, Matt is a real person.
Yes. And so
Outside
sometimes
of
he'll be
work.
doing things and I'm just with my phone like, and my kids are like, what are you taking a video of? Nothing. Don't worry about it. And then the next
Oh,
Sunday you'll see
fun.
what's happening.
And I have to
That's so
to
fun.
remember that like
She's got you at all.
Well, like-
any given moment.
no, but like she's showing all this stuff that like I'm doing like in personal life and,
Yeah.
But like I have to remember, because I was active on social media for so long, that like that was a way that my
Yeah.
agents saw me. But to me it's like okay, I'm not posting anymore because I'm not on social. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have a TikTok. I have a Facebook, but I haven't posted it besides changing my profile
But
picture.
not
in a
just
year,
that, I'm
right?
sure past clients too are, they
Well,
have
but that-
access to this.
Yeah, but even like my past clients, like again, they call me up.
Yeah.
Right. Like they've got my phone number. And so it hasn't really affected me that way. But I have to remember that like I do, even though I talk to a lot of my agents on a very regular basis, right? Like I forget sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean that they know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I may know what they're doing, but they don't necessarily know what I'm doing. So
Well,
she's
and
done
it's
a really
a fun
good job.
way to interact for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's done a very good job of like clipping me just doing
Day-to-day things.
Day-to-day
Yeah.
I
stupid
was
stuff.
so scared he was gonna be like mad about this.
No,
the
this
first
has
time.
been great. It's
I
one of my
didn't even
favorite things you do lately, for sure.
I didn't even show him at first, and then I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh,
he's like,
I
"What are
love
the
that.
stories you're watching?" And I'm like, "Okay, but are you
She's
gonna
in
get
the corner like,
mad
"Hee
if I-" I know, and he's like, "Actually, that's so fun."
It
and
is.
So he secretly likes it. It's fine.
Yay.
I do secretly like it. Like it's fun because
Well, I'm telling you, I love it just from what I've seen.
well,
so.
it's been fun because in July we moved in to our new house
Yes.
and like
Oh, how is that going, by the way? Congrats.
it's been amazing.
Good.
But there's been a lot of projects around the house. Like we make the joke because we moved in July. Well, technically it was like June 27th. We started moving stuff in, but like took possession July 1st.
Yeah.
And like I think July 3rd, I had like somebody from the ward. We're not even churchgoers, but like they wanted to help, so we had somebody from the ward like come over and like bring a tractor and
wow.
till a garden while we were still moving stuff in. Like before we even had stuff moved in, like we already had plants growing in the
Oh
garden.
my gosh. That is
It's like stuff like
hilarious.
that, and she's clipping all this and like showing everybody this stuff, and it's like that's stuff that normally I probably would have posted, and all the different meats.
So
I've
that
been
kind of goes
smoking
back
and
to like
stuff.
you guys
Yeah.
think a lot alike.
Yeah, she
I
just
love
kind of
it.
like she kind of just keeps everybody updated on
Yes.
all the projects and my perfect lines on the grass every week. And
I did see that one. That's
I think
so
I think she
awesome.
clips that about every week because she's
She's
just
like, he's at it
mesmerized by the
again.
lines.
Well, so you guys, kind of just expanding this whole dynamic for other couples or partners that are thinking about doing work together, but specifically real estate. What is the biggest lesson that you have learned and you would like to pass on? Seems like it's gone just smoothly for the two of you.
Honestly, I don't feel like there's been big issues, but I
Yeah.
think there's little things where Matt is all business. And so even working with me in the beginning, like as a woman, we're like, wait, do I look cute today? Or like, does
Oh my
he
gosh,
still
we
notice
experienced
me?
this, Brittany. Show the camera our nails.
Oh, have
We
matching
matched nails and we tried to show Matt and he was like, eh.
But as a woman, like
Yes.
he's so business mode that I came in and I'm like, even though I'm girlfriend working for him, he's still business mode
Yeah.
during the workday. And I have to like, he'll walk back past my desk sometimes and I'm like, but I got ready today. Did you notice that? You didn't see me this morning at the house, right? And
Yeah.
so things like that where I think I had to be a little more lenient with like, he's in business mode. Right. But then sometimes he'll sneak a kiss here or there, but he's like very professional. So I just think if you're going to work together, like you have to sometimes take your relationship out and be business mode. And for women, I think that's harder.
I think that's
Hey,
definitely
that's good advice though. Like, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
They're in their zone right now.
Yeah, and I think
I'm
it's
gonna
important.
pocket that for a friend.
Yeah. No, it's important because, for me, it was a big deal
Yeah.
having somebody who was in a relationship with me, like not only work with me, but like work at the office,
Yeah.
in the office every day
With all your people,
with
for sure.
all my
Yeah.
people. And, some of them have history where that didn't work out so well and things like that. And so it's like,
Yeah, you were lucky. You really picked the
so
right
it was like
person for it.
it was one of those things where even before it happened, I went to like my other broker and I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and they'd already met Brittany, and so they're like, you know what, I support this, and I talked to a few of our agents and said, hey, what would you think about me doing this, because I don't want it to be a negative thing, but also like if people aren't okay with this, like we're not going to do it Because that's one thing about this.
So you really did take
so I really did take
agents
it
into consideration.
And so then when
everything.
I did bring her on, it was very business like at first, because it was like, okay, well, I know people say that they're okay with this, but like,
let's make sure.
Let's see how they actually feel, right? And then people started making jokes about like how
like, professional you were. They're like, we've never seen Matt so professional before.
Like,
what's going on here?
They couldn't even tell we were a couple. But then people, we kind of learned that people wanted to know. It's kind of like when people see the social media and stuff, they know that we're a couple.
Yeah.
They're like excited about us being a couple running the company together, So, up over time, it's kind of like eased up a little bit and stuff. Like I always call her babe every once in a while at the office.
No, I was gonna say this. We'll be like getting ready for a CE class or something, and I'm setting up, and there'll be some agents already there and stuff. And it's so second nature to me just to like at home. It's like babe, you're like talking to him. And so at the office, sometimes we're like, babe, where is it? And I'm like, Matt, where is this thing? And the agents will laugh and they're like, you guys, we know you've been together. And I'm like, I know, but I have to be professional still. He's not babe.
So trying to find, I think trying to find a balance there. And when you get home, you really do have to with this business, especially, it's hard to like leave the office the office, right?
Yeah.
Especially where I'm on
doesn't
call.
sleep in this industry for sure.
And so it's one of those things. I think me as the broker owner, like, it's always been something that if I want to have the service and provide the service that I do for my agents, where it's like, hey, I don't shut off at 5 p.m. Like, I know that's when you're out with clients, writing contracts, showing homes. That's when you're going to need me the most, is usually probably at night when I'm with my family, my kids, So it's like, I had to learn very early on. That's like, if I want to run a brokerage where I want to be available for my agents, I have to be able to flip switches on and off. I have to be able to go broker mode, then back to family mode without anybody even noticing, right? Because I can't have this big, emergency happening in the real estate
scenario
world.
You have to
and then where it affects me the rest of the night, right?
Yeah.
Because in real estate that happens. When you have 170 agents, you're bound to have one of those a day almost. So it's like you have to learn to be able to flip that switch on and off, so you're not taking away from family time. And so I think
I love hearing that. It's not something easy. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, you have to kind of learn to do that. And, she also, from the other side of it, has had to kind of learn that, like, I'm going to have my phone, but she also knows that, like, I'm going to make it, I'm really good at, like, making it quick, and I'm not going to let it take up time. And, if there is times where, like even doing this podcast, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be times where I do put my phone on silent, and I'm going to have family time and things like that. And
he juggles it really well. So
yeah,
if you're
it sounds
asking
like
for
it.
advice for people that want to go into business together like this, or in the industry working together, or you're dating, you have got to be understanding. Like, you cannot date a broker with 170 agents and like expect him to turn that phone off at 5 p.m.
Right.
So I think it takes a personality that's very like understanding of that, and that's where I kind of play in, where it can be 11 p.m. and Matt's like answering his text in bed. And, the agents always come to me now, which is really cute. And they're like, are we so annoying? I feel like I'm bothering him all the time. And I'm like, you guys, he's never complained about any of it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, but he's so respectful of the time with the family. Like last night we painted pumpkins, right, as a family. And Matt's not on his phone. He's able to put that away.
So it sounds like you're very present, whether you are on a call or you're doing an activity. That's great.
You have to be, because like even I think it was last night we were like laying in bed and we like both looked at each other. We're just exhausted. Right? Even though we didn't sleep, like we were exhausted.
You were up at 3, you said?
Yeah, that like slight moment where you're like, I'm going to fall asleep, and then you get your second wind, you don't sleep, right? But like, we looked at each other like, oh my gosh, like we did like family movie night, and we did like carving pumpkins. We went and bought bikes for everybody this weekend. I went like on a bike ride, and like I kid you not, we go buy the bikes, and in the parking lot of the store, we take both vehicles there.
So you can fit the bikes.
My truck won't start. Battery dead. And so we go and get a jumper thing, try to jump it, and of course it's a newer vehicle.
What
so
an
like,
adventure.
Even jump starting it like doesn't work. So I'm like, well, we got to pack all these bikes into one vehicle somehow.
Oh my God.
And we're just going to leave this vehicle. And we did. So we like dealt with that crisis, got all the bikes home, went on a bike ride still, painted pumpkins last night. Like all weekend we had a fire.
You are goals right now.
Like we did so many family
It's
things.
exhausting. No. But the thing is, at the same time, he'll sneak in answering a text for an agent, doing this, looking up something, and I just don't think people realize that, like behind the scenes of how much he juggles, right? And how well he does it. And he never complains. And that's something that shows me his character when we first started dating, was like, you never get off of this phone or put this phone down and be like, oh, I can't stand
you're
it.
definitely not a victim. That's amazing.
But we juggle all of these crazy things in life, like he's saying, to even the point where you try to take your kids on a bike ride and a car breaks down. And you're like, well, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Put it all into one car. We'll leave the car in the
We'll
parking
get it
lot.
later.
We literally got home from the bike ride. I had a pork roast on the smoker with a few hours left. And then like her son, we had to we still wanted to paint pumpkins, do dinner.
Oh
and then we had
you
to
guys.
run him to meet his dad. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I've got an hour window. I'm going to take your car, go fix my car, and then come home, eat dinner. And then when we go drop this, her son off, we'll go pick up my car. And we did.
Wow.
We didn't.
So the leadership is
So if anything,
being played in all
if anything,
areas.
we've conflict resolution.
Yeah.
We've really worked.
You work through
a lot of
stuff
things.
quickly and together. I love that. Well, you guys, that's wonderful. You've over delivered on what I thought this would be. I already knew you're both wonderful, but it's so exciting to hear and kind of know more about your lives. In the industry, I already know that you're making a huge impact. I've been so impressed by you and some of the agents that I've been lucky to know. But thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Yes, it's been so fun. And I do want to just kind of leave our audience with a place where they can reach you at. If you want to share, whether it's, we know Matt doesn't have social media, but your social media or, your phone number or whatever. And that way, whether it is other agents in the industry wanting a place to call home or our consumers that are needing just a great team to help them navigate through ownership. Where can they find you?
Can I say Unity?
Yeah. Tell them where they can find you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on Instagram, we are at Unity Group Real Estate. Facebook, Unity Group Real Estate. I think we have a TikTok. I don't know if the TikTok's going up to date, but
try it out.
other than that, and then website.
The handles are actually at Unity Group RE on all of those platforms. So we have a website too, unitygroupre.com.
Perfect.
But hold on. But also, if you want more of Britt and that, she has a podcast. She's working on another podcast. And
Yes.
so those are great places to find her.
Yeah, I've had a podcast for 6 years called The Real Shit with Britt and Witt. And then I have another one upcoming right now that I'm just starting again with another friend. And so, lots of podcast things. I'm at Brittany Camille _55 on Instagram. That's where you'll find me personally and our life. So
I love it. And yes, you guys, be sure to give them a follow. You will be so entertained. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please rate us, like us, and share this podcast with our real estate community. The Nova Show Real Estate Record, sharing raw stories of real estate, failures, lessons, wins, and successes. This is all from Novation Title, bringing a different experience into your world so that we can all uplift each other. Until next time.